Yo, what manga fans? It's been a bit. Got busy again today, damn it. Part 2, please out tomorrow. Shit. I could do it a day though. And it'll be another day. But can't make that fucking easy. Anyway, I'm here with a special one. It's my first review on another manga series. So, I'm going to give it a read for quite a bit. Sometimes my eye feels sticky and I just do that because, stop it, I don't know what causes it. Maybe I'm just more annoying. Anyway, I'm viewing Kinnikuman for the first time. Yep. I'm familiar with the series for a while, but I never got to watch or read it, the story. I'm familiar with the sequel series too, Kinnikuman Nisei, aka Ultimate Muscle, because I think I saw a couple episodes on TV as a kid on Kicks. I was a little older because it was a later TV. It's all bad, okay? You know, living in the UK at the time. Kicks was a channel dedicated to action-packed TV shows. You know, like Power Rangers, that Ninja Turtle show. Next Mutation, I mean. Up next, can't remember. Yeah, a lot of shows, but a lot of them action-packed. My past I've seen quite a few Power Ranger seasons I never saw as a kid. Yeah, didn't watch them all, but I was only seeing I only seen like one episode of Wild Force, never saw Time Force. So, you know, joking. Those are I started watching those seasons. Since at the time I only see was up to some of the Disney seasons as they aired on TV as a kid. Yeah, I can't remember where Power Rangers was deep. I can't remember where SPD aired. I think it aired on CITV. I don't know. That's all I'm going to probably talk about my original Power Rangers reviews. Anyway, I'm viewing the first arc of Kinnikuman, and I'm going to say it's a pretty good first arc, at least for me. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Kinnikuman was made by Yuda Tamago. I probably butchered that. A duo of artists who were fresh out of high school at the time, who created a popular manga called Kinnikuman. It was inspired by Ultraman. And that's actually a universe too, by the way. But it's not my pilot chapter. The zero chapters I call pilot chapters. These one-shots, there's no concepts for the story. For the main series, to make some changes like a pilot does. It's going to be like change. Let's just maybe talk about the pilot. So, in that story, Kinnikuman was the bastard son of one of the Ultraman. Yeah. Kind of glad I didn't go that route. Because that probably would have pissed off Superaya. Because that would have been insulting. I get it's a joke, must be comedic, but Ultraman. Yeah, that probably pissed off a lot of Ultraman fans too if they were reading Jump at the time. So, yeah. Also, if you're an Ultraman and not a superhero fan, you can be sure that you go to this manga and check out Ultraman Along Came a Spider-Man. A crossover series between Superaya's Ultraman, the original Ultraman 2, talk about the OG one, like Shin Hayata, crossover with Spider-Man. No specific version, just an original incarnation. It's a good manga, I haven't finished it yet. Still, I think it's over now, or is it still ongoing? I look that up. Because really, it'd be cool that got adapted into a TV show. Yeah. So I get on topic. So yeah, it did not fly by. But Superman did actually get permission for that chapter to be published in the volumes. Kinnikuman is still technically ongoing right now. I say technically. Well, the original one was in Shonen Jump. Apparently, the sequel, continuation of the story, the permanent origin arc, which is going to be adapted facing the other way. is currently being serialized in Playboy, the Shueisha one, not the American one. I know it's confusing. Also, that kind of bugs me. What adult man will want to read a manga while reading that type of magazine if they're only there to see specific sexual images of women? If that makes any sense. I never read Playboy, though, because I'm not that type of person. I'm not saying it's bad you read that, just saying I don't read it. But would you really want to read a series and that type of stuff? As I know, what I don't really get it. Was it trying to push more to a more adult audience for the first time? I don't know, but it's not the only manga we published there. It's a whole coming game thing. And the sequel to Kinnikuman, these say was published in Playboy as well. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Oof. And oh boy, when I get to Nisei's manga, I'm gonna be looking away quite a lot because since I'm not saying to get away with dick jokes, boob jokes, and butt jokes. But since it shows this as it's a no comedy. What a kid shows that show butts. I don't know. So yeah, I wanted to have the volume by the time I did this video, but it's not here yet. It's supposed to be coming tomorrow. I bought the Japanese version, and it's supposed to there actually are English versions too. Yeah, it costs over £37 though. Anyway, sorry, I'm let's talk about Kinnikuman. So you probably know Kinnikuman for its wrestling, all its wrestling stuff, but that's not what it started out as. Think of it like the first arc of Dragon Ball. Both series opened up with more typical gag of the week stories. Just comedy. Just simple comedy. That's it, with some action. But by after that arc, the second arc's changed everything. So yeah, after the first arc, did with the first Kaiju Extermination arc, which is this arc, we get a shorter arc, I think. Get a shorter arc. But I know it's the arc that comes after. That's what shifted Kinnikuman becoming the way it is today. Dragon Ball's process took much longer than that. When we got action in the tournament arcs, it didn't come as focused on the action portion until like the Red Ribbon Army storyline, with the battle against General Tao. And I can't wait to talk about that, but I haven't watched the anime yet. It's gonna be a longer review, so I haven't had the time. Anyway, so forgive me, I don't cover every chapter in the story, and the first two chapters are just pretty simple. First chapter, all the other heroes are available, so the government is supposed to call on Kinnikuman. Now, Kinniku means muscle in Japanese, so it translates to as muscle man. Not that one. Not your mom! I can't do it. I can't even take the voice. Damn it. Sorry. You get what I mean. So yeah, loads of detail. Kinnikuman just wears underwear and socks. At least in this portion of the story, most likely until the Tourney of Children Olympic story arc. We get some proper wrestling gear. There was actually one chapter in this arc with wrestling in it. And kind of may have been foreshadowing for a future story arc about wrestling. Most likely hinted at that. I'll talk about that. Anyway. So, as I said, the story focuses on Kinnikuman. The chapter about him and being the only hero left, and he's not really that great a hero, he's a failure, as he fails every time. And well, the Kaiju, he's a failure so bad, not even a Kaiju wants to fight him. That's kind of funny. Also, earlier in this arc, Kinnikuman could grow big by eating onions, or he could grow big on his own. I guess, it's kind of confusing. Those two chapters are just simple, like I said. The first one, like I already talked about. The second chapter, or third chapter, whatever. Kinnikuman tries to get. That's a bad chapter. Kinnikuman tries to get a popular pop star to fall in love with him. She's in love with someone else. He's not. He doesn't focus on him that much. Yeah, focus more on gags. Chapter 3 starts to pick things up slightly with the introduction of Meat, who comes from the planet Kinniku, and he's here for Kinnikuman, who he claims to be the prince of planet Kinniku. Also, little detail if you only watch the English dub of Ultimate Muscle, Meat's a boy, a child. He's a child. You don't really get that necessarily. The mention of a child, I guess, was a little bit in another chapter. I don't know. Like, if I wasn't familiar with me, when I first read this a few chapters early on, it was like, I still he was an adult man too. I mean, you can't really unsee it now. Thanks, Pollock. Thank you, Mike Pollock. You can't make me unsee it. Okay, but still, it is kind of hard to unsee. Because he doesn't, he looks at a hyper child, he does not bloody look like one. Now, originally, the last arc of the original run of the manga and Jump was the Scarlet for the Throne arc, which did get adapted, which is not the original one in the anime. It's a whole separate anime, which I want to talk about his own video alongside the anime and the movies, if I can find the movies, because it was pretty tough finding the anime itself. Yeah, the only time being I could find 4 episodes was on archive.org. No joke, I can't find it anywhere because I don't know. It's weird. It's not been officially released yet. When the perfect original arc's available on Netflix, but you can't be familiar. But you can't watch it without being familiar with the original. It's not newcomer friendly, like me say, which you can watch without being familiar with the original. Similar to Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, you get me. It confuses me quite a lot. What was I talking about again? Shit. So yeah, it's the whole thing. Me takes Kinnikuman back to his home planet to help overthrow a pig that was kind of taken in years ago. Yeah, the pig was mistaken for him, and he got mistaken for the pig, so he's thrown out. So he was stuck that pig for years, and became a bully, a tyrant. So it's up to Kinnikuman to take care of him. Of course, Kinnikuman is piss weak. He just gets to leave him pretty easily. Lucky thanks to a chef, the pig goes away. So, yeah, see how much of a badass he is. They just basically, well, they don't disown him because they do appear again later. Don't him like nothing bad has happened. Yeah, the deal kind of forgot about that. Oh well. Also, no detail that they all wear masks. Those are not the actual places. Like I really assumed they were when I saw them. But no, they're actually masks. Does fake business living in these? Anyway, so that was the me basically said to keep an eye to take care of Kinnikuman. Real name Sugi Kinniku. Sugiri Kinniku. I forgot. Suguru, that's it. Suguru Kinniku. That's his real name. Well, as he just basically didn't know that, or didn't even know that muscle is what his name meant. Because he's only lived in Japan all his life. You should have known what muscle meant. Never mind. He's an idiot. Which is fine. So wacky episode chapters happen. Like, Loch Ness Monster thing. Case of freaking. Even big. A boxing match in the last chapter of the arc. Well, no, second to last. So love, just typical episodic shit. Not really my thing. Not saying it's bad, but it's not really my thing. So, yeah. But there's some highlight chapters. Chapter 7, which introduced a new character, Terry Man, who's a main character too from here on out. The only other superhero that we find, and well, basically, is he's Kinnikuman's best friend, according to a lot of the source sites I looked up. So yeah, that's it. Give us a look more behind. Also, this chapter sort of got a remake too. There's both chapters available where I found it. I'm not telling you where though. You can look about yourself. I say the remake chapter is not too different. With some slight changes, and man, the art style is definitely different. Shouldn't have to do is improve their art over the years. You know, how the art style has been improved over the years. Like the original art style was used for the 80s anime, I guess, until its kind of run. Also, Kinnikuman has quite a few movies and TV specials I've written down here. If I can find them, hopefully you'll watch them. But anyway, so, you know, Terry Man is in there for money. But this is where we see Kinnikuman's good side, as he's wanting to buy a kaiju for a boy for free. To help him save his daddy. Again, he can be a pervert sometimes and a dick. He's not a bad person. He's a good heart. I guess that's why he chose to become a superhero. Because in universe, he said he was inspired by Ultraman. I don't know how they would get away mentioning so many Ultraman references without being sued. This is not like Western references either. This is a Japanese manga referencing a Japanese program. Which is interesting. I guess Kamen might also get some mention. But I guess the duo were just more fans of Ultraman. This time Super Sentai will come back on air with Battle Fever J, but we're slowly starting to gain the popularity it is today. Till it ended last year. Anyway. So yeah. 10 minutes decides to change, and I'm still a bit wants money. Is Kinnikuman's friend in a way. He doesn't return until till chapter 16, but that's at the end. We also get introduction to love interest with Kinnikuman for the 3 arcs. Because after the 3rd arc, she's more support character. But the anime extends the love for the entire run. Yeah, that's what I looked up. Character's name is Mina. She's a kindergarten teacher. And the kids really do not like Kinnikuman. Also, sees me has a crush on her. She got, even though after support role, she does have an important place in the story. With another character that's in the sequel. I got a lot of information watching a video on it. Just look at Kinnikuman, you'll find a 3-hour video about it. So, yeah. They also introduced another girl named Tatsuko, I think her name was. I've got her name. But she's more of a love interest for Terry Man. She's a reporter for a weekly hero magazine. So yeah. They became recurring characters. Chapter 17 now is more of an important chapter. As this was I think the two were planning to do a wrestling arc at some point in the future. So lay the groundworks early on. Yeah, Kinnikuman and Terry Man have a bit of a wrestling match. So it's a good chapter. It was, saying, even if it ends with saying Kinnikuman saying he wants to become a wrestler now. He has to make it heel forget about it, but the text box on the bottom says he does not forget about it. Which, yeah, the series, that is true, because the whole thing becomes a wrestling act during the 3rd arc and onwards. I cannot wait to get to that wrestling arc, but it's going to make me take a bit. I'm going to check how long the 2nd arc is. So, yeah. Again, pretty episodic. Not bad. I don't know much to talk about, because I didn't like them. None of them really stuck out to me, most of them. I'm only talking about the more important ones that do have a bit of importance in the story. The characters becoming reoccurring later. Alright, I'm wondering when the other love interest of Kinnikuman will show up. If it's for the first 3 arcs, she might debut after that, in the 4th arc. I don't know. We'll see. the last arc of the last chapter of the arc. Yeah, it's just a simple one. Kinnikuman gets tricked by his enemies, who are all different kinds of kaiju. So enemy organization. So he didn't catch him, and he has to get his way out. Well, me, Terry Man, like, me and the others aren't aware of this at all. So you don't know why he's pissed at them at the end of the chapter. I really am loving Kinnikuman. Now, I would recommend this, but I need to put a caution. If you are sensitive to very violence, if you really don't like violence in manga and stuff, like, not JoJo level violent, but still pretty violent, then don't read this. It's not as violent in the first arc, but it's going to get violent from here on out. So, and if you don't like party humor, then I wouldn't recommend it to you. If you're not interested in those types of things, it's your opinion. I don't mind the party humor, really. That's why I really want to read it. So, yeah, hopefully once I'm done with the manga, I could get to watch the anime too. So, but the first arc's pretty short in the anime. Only 6 episodes. Yeah, the anime kind of skipped quite a few of these chapters. Now, to be fair, yeah, they're just episodic chapters. Gag manga. Like, Dragon Ball kept it because Dinosaur was popular. So, but Kinnikuman was Western at the time, so it makes sense. By the way, the reason it ended, blame the second guy, you something, I forgot his name. There are 3 reasons why. Burnout. Sorry. First reason, pressure on the fans. Second, chronic back pain. And third, jealousy. Not joking with the last one either. I don't know, it's April Fool's too. I forgot to talk about that here. But it was because the jealousy was over. I don't know an author, someone you may or may not have heard of. His name is Akira Toriyama. Yep. And it wasn't about Dragon Ball either at the time. As Kinnikuman was making his run and jump, don't forget, a year after it debuted in 1980, Kinnikuman debuted in late 1979, but Dr. Stone premiered a year later in 1980, and was getting popular again in anime just a few months after airing. It took 4 years for Kinnikuman to start airing his anime. So, yeah, especially when Dragon Ball came out on the scene in 1984, you know Dragon Ball is pretty much a success. Shame, really, but no we can do. And that was the first arc of Kinnikuman. I didn't go much detail when all those videos long. Apologise. But none of the episode chapters stand out to me. But it's not bad. So, again, if you want to give it a read, you can. But, and again, if you don't like the violence or the humour, then don't give it a read. It probably won't be for you. So, thank you guys for watching. If you want my content, please thumbs up. I want to see more, subscribe channel, hang out, check out all this good stuff. I'll see you guys next time in more videos. I will plan to do another manga video, but I don't know what manga yet. Maybe Vision Monster. I mean, it's new adaptations coming out in a couple days, so we'll see. Thank you. I'll see you guys later on next time. Whatever. Kill Phoenix out. Sorry, habit. What's a habit? Super jump out.